Welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast, where manifesting your dreams isn't magic, it's momentum. I'm your host, Carrie Dahle, entrepreneur, author, and manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you stop holding yourself back and start building the life you've been craving. Each week, I'll share real stories, practical tools, and powerful mindset shifts to help you reframe the negative, embrace gratitude, and take aligned action toward your goals. If you're ready to up-level your life, your relationships, your success, then this is your place. Let's dive in. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're showing up, you're taking action, you're clear on your goals, but nothing's happening as fast as it should, or at least as fast as you think it should. And if you're really, really honest with yourself, it starts to feel super frustrating, maybe even a little defeating. But what if I told you it's not your effort that's the problem? It's your nervous system. Today, we're going to talk about something that completely shifted how I look at manifestation. And honestly, how I move through my entire life now. Because calm energy attracts faster results. You know, we talk so much about manifestation and vision boards and journaling and goal setting. And don't get me wrong, I love every one of these tools. But there was a period of time where I was doing all of that, and I still felt like I was pushing everything uphill. Like things were still really hard. Like no matter how much I did, it just wasn't clicking. And here's what I realized. I wasn't manifesting from belief. I was manifesting from pressure, from urgency, from this needs to work. Right? And those two things are very different energies because your body isn't going to respond to what you're writing down or the pictures you're posting or things you're saying you're wanting. It's responding to how you feel. And when you're feeling this urgency or this need instead of calm, well, it's going to respond with urgency and angst and all of that. So let me take you back to when I was building Thrive Mindset. I was recording podcast episodes and I was sending out my Motivational Monday letters and I was showing up consistently. And it felt like talking into the void. I wasn't really getting any feedback and there was no real growth. And there was no real clear signs that it was working. And I remember having these moments of thinking, is this even doing anything? And I had two choices. I could sit there and keep showing up and sit there in the stress of checking the numbers and questioning everything and wondering if I should just pivot, or I could regulate myself. I could come back to, I believe in this. I know this matters. I trust the process. And I made that choice. I made the choice to come back to why. Why did I want to do this in the first place? Well, because I decided that if I helped just one person, if just one person heard this, if one person read it, then it mattered. When I chose to come back to what matters the most and believe in it and trust the process, that's when things shifted into the calmer and more grounded energy. And no, nothing changed overnight, but everything did change in me internally. And that's what allowed things to start really building, because I stopped interrupting the momentum and that calm energy.
This episode of the Thrive Mindset podcast is brought to you by the Scott Lewis Group at John L. Scott Real Estate. Buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's your move. It's your next chapter. And we're here to make sure that your move is remarkable. We know this market inside and out, and we care deeply about helping you find more than just a house. We want you to find the place where your life truly thrives. Whether you're stepping into your first home, upgrading to something new, or starting something fresh, you deserve more than ordinary. With the Scott Lewis Group, it's your move. Let's make it remarkable.
And here's the part that might change how you see everything. You don't attract what you want. We've talked about that so many times, right? You attract what you're putting out there. You attract what your nervous system feels safe receiving. So if your system is in that fight or flight mode, or rushing around, or overthinking, or gripping super tightly at things, then even the good things can feel uncomfortable. And you're not going to attract those good things. So when something feels uncomfortable, we hesitate, right? We overanalyze and we pull back. We say we want to grow, but our body's like, that doesn't really feel safe. So we stall. And not because we're incapable, but because we're dysregulated. I honestly see this all the time in real estate as well. There are moments in transactions where things feel really intense, deadlines and negotiations and unexpected issues. And I've learned this the hard way, that when I show up in moments from stress or urgency, things feel really hard and communication gets tight and decisions feel reactive and everything feels like it's escalating. But when I pause and I come back to the calm and I show up differently and I don't rush or I don't make it an urgent matter or an emergency, I realize that I listen a little better and I think clearer and I respond instead of react. And almost every time things resolve faster. And the same situation just has a different energy. And that's not luck. That's honestly just regulation of your energy. We've been so conditioned to believe that speed comes from pushing harder. But what if speed actually comes from alignment? Calm energy doesn't waste time spiraling. It doesn't second guess every move. It doesn't burn energy on fear. It just moves cleanly, right? It just moves directly and confidently. And that's why it often looks like things are happening faster, because you're not slowing yourself down with resistance. Think about a time in your life where something worked out and you didn't force it. Maybe it's a relationship, a decision, an opportunity. I can look back at multiple moments, even decisions in my business and personal life, where the second I stopped trying to control every outcome and just got grounded, the next step became so clear. And not because I had it figured out, but because I got quiet enough to just hear it. That's the difference. So what do we do with this? Because this isn't about sitting around and doing nothing. It's about how you show up while you're doing the work. So this week, I want you to practice this. Before you react, pause. Before you decide, breathe. Before you spiral, ground yourself and ask, what would this look like if I approached it from calm instead of chaos? Because even that one question can shift everything. The version of who you are already has what you're trying to manifest. She's not frantic. She's not rushing. She's not questioning every step. She's grounded. She trusts. She moves with clarity. So if you want faster results, don't focus on doing more. Focus on becoming a match for what you want. And start with your nervous system. Calm isn't slowing down. It's the thing that gets you there faster. And remember, above all else, I believe, and you can manifest your dreams.